Today on Carolina News, visitors from the upstate took to the State House. That's because the Clemson Tigers were in town. See why they were here in the capital city. And tournament troubles. Greensboro, North Carolina is known as Tournament Town, but the Tar Heel State and businesses in the area are concerned. Find out why and who is benefiting from potential losses. Plus, Bluff Road construction. Many residents are frustrated that it's taking so long. What are the effects, and when will it be finished? Carolina News starts now.
Live from the capital city, Carolina News brings you your news first. With breaking news and in-depth reporting. Up-to-the-minute weather. And all your sports news and highlights. It's all here, now, on Carolina News.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Jada Williams.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Principe.
It's Tiger Day at the South Carolina State House. Clemson fans from around the state gathered at the Capitol building today to see Coach Dabo Swinney recognized by state officials as a national champion. Brandon Knapp has the story.
The crowd at the South Carolina State Capitol is dressed orange today. Clemson fans, both young and old, gathered in Columbia to watch their heroic football coach, Dabo Swinney, as he addressed South Carolina state lawmakers. Not everyone made it here in time to see Coach Dabo speak. As you can see behind me, there's a whole line of Clemson fans watching from the outside. The championship-winning coach told the spectators that made it inside, football is much more than just a sport.
In a world that's very divided, nothing brings people together like football.
Clemson fans from all over the state came together to hear the coach preach about the game they love so much.
Football brings race, religion, backgrounds, neighborhoods, bank accounts. It just breaks all that stuff down and brings people together and makes them brothers.
The fans who made it out today were both proud and excited about being recognized as national champions at the state capitol.
We're enjoying every minute of it, and a great way to celebrate here today with everyone.
Coach Swinney ended his speech by calling on lawmakers to do their best to represent their communities.
And what I would tell you is, you know how you leave your mark, because none of y'all are guaranteed to be reelected. You leave your mark by how you love, serve, and care for your community and for each other.
When Coach Swinney speaks, we have come to expect energy. Today, he did not disappoint. With Carolina News, I'm Brandon Knapp.
Coach Dabo's appearance today followed another Clemson-themed event at the State House earlier this month. The Clemson Tiger flag was raised above the State House to recognize the team's champion status.
A grand jury has voted today to indict Todd Kolop on all charges. Kolop was arrested late last year after a woman was found chained in a box in the upstate. New documents have revealed how Kolop killed two of his victims. These documents reveal events similar to the claims of Jada Brian, his most recent victim, who was found chained in the box. Kolop has been charged with 7 murders.
Well, I can't deny that the weather today is unseasonably warm. Our reporter Michelle Zhu is at the State House now to give a glimpse of what we can expect this week. Michelle?
I'm standing here right in the heart of downtown Columbia in front of the State House. The sun is shining bright, bringing in really warm temperatures in the 80s. It almost feels like July. These temperatures are expected to last today and tomorrow before we will experience some significant weather change, possibly some light rain, cooler temperatures. I'll have more later on in the show. Back to you in the studio.
Later this evening, President Donald Trump will be addressing Congress for the first time in his presidency. The speech is expected to encompass Trump's first month as president. While there is speculation about what it will be about, advisors say Trump will use it to declare progress in his early campaign promises. He also plans to outline his ideas for health care and infrastructure spending.
President Donald Trump also signed an executive order today that will give more White House support to historically black colleges and universities. President Trump invited presidents of all HBCUs to join him in Washington this week for the signing of the order. President Trump only received 8% of the African American vote in the 2016 election. Some HBCU students feel that the public manner in which President Trump is handling the order is more for good publicity than good intent.
You just said you was going to ship us back to where we came from. You don't said all this negative stuff about us. Now all of a sudden you're trying to help us and you doing it on the news and stuff. It's kind of like you're trying to show that you love all races, but deep down inside you kind of don't. And that's hiding in the shadows for me.
The order gives HBCUs funding through grants, appropriations, contracts, and student aid.
It's crunch time for college basketball teams around the country. We're nearly 2 weeks away from the start of March Madness, but the clock is also ticking on North Carolina to keep the NCAA championships in the state. I took to Greensboro in Greenville, South Carolina, where two cities tell two very different tales.
Barry, the kick out to Jackson, deep three.
College hoops and North Carolina go together like football and Sunday. And during tournament time, Greensboro, North Carolina is the place to be. But many feel that is changing. And the reason why?
There's definitely concern.
The concern is House Bill 2, the bathroom bill, banning those who sexually identify differently than what's printed on their birth certificate. While the bill stands, the NCAA refuses to hold any sponsored championships in the state. And if HB 2 is not repealed by the end of the month, North Carolina says goodbye to those events through 2022. Kim Strable, president of the Greensboro Sports Commission, hopes that familiarity will eventually bring the NCAA back.
And sometimes when you go somewhere else, you actually find out, hey, let's get back. Let's go home. That's where we want to be.
As of now, Greensboro is projected to lose nearly $500,000 for the 2017 men's basketball tournament. If HB 2 isn't repealed, Greensboro will lose 53 events and $118 million. A sharp blow to Mother Tucker's, located just 2 blocks away from the Coliseum. Owner Celeste Cranford finds it hard to be optimistic for the future.
So we lose out on concerts because of the HB2 law and all the tournaments, ACC, all of them, the women's, everything. So we always got the overflow in here, and now we're not.
And when the future of her business is out of her hands,
we can't get that extra business just because politics. And that's all it is, politics.
To residents here in Greensboro, North Carolina, their beloved city is known as Tournament Town. And the hub of Tournament Town is right behind me, the Greensboro Coliseum. The 188 miles southwest across the border in South Carolina, Greensboro's loss is Greenville's reward. The city, along with Furman University, will host multiple events that were lost at the Greensboro Coliseum, here at Bon Secours Wellness Arena. Bon Secours Wellness Arena declined to comment, but just down the road, the Furman Athletics Department welcomes the opportunity.
I think the NCAA is excited about awarding this to Greenville, and we're certainly tickled that they did, but we're cognizant of what North Carolina is going through.
Reed realizes this could be big.
This is a show-stopping event for Greenville.
An event that has Carolina Ale House salivating. Special events coordinator Liz Greenway knows her location is prime.
We are kind of that go-to spot. We're only 4 blocks up from Bon Secours. It's walking distance, so people really do love to come here.
Greenway is ready to make the most of the added business.
We're ready to sling some beers and sling some food and make people happy.
Those in the Palmetto State hope that the NCAA is happy to cement its roots in the city and falls for Greenville during the madness of March. Greenville will also be hosting the SEC Women's Basketball Tournament starting tomorrow. The Gamecocks are the #1 seed and will begin to play on Friday.
A father and son thought they were enjoying a normal day of fishing, but ended up having a big surprise. The pair ran into an 11-foot-long great white shark while fishing off the coast of Savannah, Georgia. The shark stuck around for about 15 minutes and was hooked 3 separate times.
Well, remind me to never go swimming in Savannah.
Yeah, no.
I don't mess around with any kind of sharks. That's totally out of my realm.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the first shark, I would have been like, get me off of this boat
Jaws
right
did it
here,
for me.
right now.
Jaws was it. I couldn't do it after Jaws.
Definitely. The Bluff Road construction has been going on for quite a while, but how do those who work in the area feel about it? We'll have the answer after the break.
Street construction on Bluff Road is currently underway, and for many, these roads closures and traffic patterns have created quite a headache. Carolina News reporter Danielle Williams has more.
If you've traveled Bluff Road recently, you've noticed the lane closures, construction cones, and signage. But those in the area want to know what's really going on.
In 2012, the citizens of Richland County voted on a 1-cent sales tax to fund transportation-related projects in Richland County. And so as part of that, one of the projects was Bluff Road widening.
The project will be broken down in 2 phases and is the work of Richland County's Transportation Penny Program to increase pedestrian safety and traffic flow.
There was a lot of accident data that was collected along Bluff Road, and one of the main accident types was rear-end accidents, as well as some angle-type accidents.
In a recent traffic count by Richland County, data shows that an estimated amount of over 21,000 cars travel Bluff Road a day. With that high volume of traffic, this construction impacts many who travel and work in the area. At the corner of Rosewood and Bluff, construction is underway, but for those who work right down the street, this has become quite the hassle.
It's definitely an inconvenience for those of us who work in the stadium. A lot of people don't realize that there are offices in the stadium that are open business days and weekends, and we have to park across the street and cross the street, and some days it's been kind of like playing Frogger. You're just trying not to get hit.
While the construction has been a huge inconvenience to some, officials hope that the end result will be worth the wait.
I just ask that they're patient, and do understand that hopefully the good of the end of the construction will outweigh the bad.
Danielle Williams, Carolina News.
Phase 1 of the project is expected to be finished by August, and Phase 2 will begin in 2018.
3 are dead and 2 are injured following a plane crash in California yesterday. Stunning security camera footage caught the plane as it plummeted towards the ground and after the crash. Fires burning homes sent a Los Angeles neighborhood into a frenzy. First responders tended to the injured, and firefighters were literally on top of homes battling the blaze. Even the plane's severed propeller was found on top of a roof following the crash. The plane was on its way to San Jose, and no one on the ground was injured.
Charges have been filed in an accident that involved Lexington Mayor Steve McDougal Monday afternoon. The accident on Sunset Boulevard at Old Cherokee Road happened yesterday afternoon. A car illegally turned in front of a mail truck, which caused the mail truck to be thrown into McDougal's car. South Carolina's Highway Patrol says the driver will be charged with failure to yield to the right-of-way. The mayor suffered no serious injuries, and no word yet on the condition of the other drivers.
Federal prosecutors are pushing for a stiffer sentence for Dylan Roof's friend, Joey Meeks. Meeks knew about Roof's plan to kill black churchgoers, but failed to report the crime and later lied to authorities. Prosecutors filed court papers Monday stating Meek knew the full scope of Roof's hatred and intent to start a race war. Meek's lawyer filed a sealed motion, but has not commented on what was inside that motion. The maximum sentence for Meek's crime is 8 years.
A Georgia couple has been sentenced to 35 years total after they yelled racial slurs at a birthday party. Police said that Jose Torres and Kayla Norton were part of a group who drove trucks waving Confederate flags, yelling racial slurs, and threatened to kill at a black child's birthday party. Officials say Torres pointed a shotgun at them before the police arrived. Torres is sentenced to 20 years, and Norton is sentenced to 15 years in prison for racially motivated crimes. A mother of one of the children at the party testified in court saying that Torres and Norton affected her and her children's lives, but eventually forgave them.
I forgive you. I forgive all of you. I'm not admitting to it. I did.
For years, scientists and environmentalists have had their eyes on the ozone layer's depletion and climate change. The Trump administration's decision to shut down the Environmental Protection Agency has many concerned that this plan could reverse any progress our planet has made. Princess Ruff digs deeper.
After years of harsh depletion, the hole in the ozone layer has shown signs of reversal within the last decade. The EPA even predicted the ozone will be fully recovered by 2065. But will Trump's administration decision to shut down the EPA threaten this reversal? Greg Carboni, a USC geography professor, wasn't available to speak in person, but says the Montreal Protocol holds greater weight even if the EPA is shut down.
Those agreements I don't believe are in jeopardy. They're international agreements. Most importantly, the U.S. is not producing chlorofluorocarbons. and that's what led to the agreement in the first place.
President Trump is also looking to open up federal lands to oil, gas drilling, and coal mining, which could increase greenhouse gas emissions. If President Trump decides to follow through with his plan to begin oil and gas drilling, it could cause much of the solar energy to pass through the Earth's atmosphere, creating those oddly warm midwinter days, just like this. Senior Hilton Gilbert is especially shocked at the administration's decision.
I think it's detrimental. I mean, despite my own personal political views, I just think this is something that's outrageous, and how can he argue against that? It's not something we should worry about.
She feels that this could only cause bigger problems for the planet.
The potential health hazards, skin damage, eye damage, skin cancer, the threat to human, plant, animal life, this warm winter in itself should be evident enough that this is an issue.
Gilbert urges people to do what they can to contribute to the safety of our planet.
I feel like the small changes we make can be a collective effort to serve as advantageous for not only ourselves but future generations, and most importantly the planet.
Small, safer steps to be taken that will in return foster bigger changes for planet Earth. Carolina News, I'm Princess Ruff.
The Trump administration Department of Justice has agreed to uphold Obama's climate action plan to cut the use of substitutes for chlorofluorocarbon to minimize greenhouse gas emission.
Well, speaking of the warm weather, let's check in with our weather reporter, Michelle Zhu, to see how long these warm temperatures are going to hold up. How's it look out there, Michelle?
I'm out here enjoying these beautiful temperatures, and you can see some people behind me thinking the same thing. But it won't last long because we will have some cooler temperatures and some light rain. I'll have some more after the break.
Some stormy weather in Seattle was a little dangerous at one famous tourist spot. This video was posted on Space Needle's Twitter page Monday afternoon. A rare lightning strike hits right at the top of the needle. During the storm, residents have dealt with everything from snow to thunder and lightning. There's no word if the strike caused any damage.
Well, thunderstorms may have happened on that end, but they will be moving across the state. We may feel some of it. Let me take a look at currently in Columbia what's going on. Temperatures are a little high, and humidity is at 46%, so it's a little sticky outside. And so let's take a look at that. Temperature is sitting at 78 degrees. That's that warm temperature. We're feeling a lot like summer. Humidity is sitting at 46%, so if you step outside, it might be a little sticky. Winds going at 7 miles per hour, just a light breeze, pretty pleasant. Across the state, we're experiencing warm temperatures. 78 sitting in Columbia, 74 in Charleston, 70 in Greenville, so all sitting across the 70s. And that's going on because a high has already made its way across the East Coast. Trailing behind that is a mixture of lows and highs, and this low will be bringing in a mixture of rain and storms, and that will be pushed out as a strong high is moving that. And so as that's moving up to the northeast, we may feel some light storms tomorrow that will be moving all across the northeast. You can see this big storm system will be created after this low has been moving up, and this cold front will be stretching all across the southwest up into the northeast, and that will be creating the cold temperatures that we'll feel by Thursday. 62 in Columbia will be tonight's lows, 63 in Charleston, 59 in Greenville. Nothing too extreme, pretty pleasant. But tomorrow we'll still be feeling those warm temperatures, 85 in Columbia, summer temperatures once again, 76 in Greenville. And onto the 5-day, the rain will hit Wednesday, but the sun will come out by Saturday and Sunday. Looking forward to another warm weekend.
Well, thanks, Michelle. We appreciate it, the weather. And coming up next in sports, find out why this shot didn't count. I heard there's some big games in basketball this weekend. One team is bringing home the bacon.
You're right. Let's start on the basketball court with the men, as USC looks to keep their momentum rolling after a dominating win over Tennessee Saturday. USC sits at 21-8 on the season with just 2 games left before postseason play begins. Tonight is senior night in Colonial Life Arena. The matchup against Mississippi State will be the last in Columbia for Sindarius Thornwell, Dwayne Notice, and Justin Mackey, the 3 seniors on Frank Martin's squad. But that's not all. It's bacon night. The maple kind? No, not the maple kind, the normal kind. The first 750 students to arrive will receive free bacon. I mean, you got to go to that. That is all in support of the Gamecocks beginning their postseason quest to bring home the bacon. The Gamecocks are 4th in the SEC right now with 2 regular season games remaining. If they can hold on to that spot, they will receive a first and second round bye in the upcoming SEC tournament. The women have already secured their first round bye and the #1 seed in their SEC tournament. Play will start tomorrow in Greenville, SC, but Dawn Staley and her team won't play until Friday when they face the winner of the Auburn-Georgia matchup. After winning their 4th consecutive SEC regular season title, a few Gamecocks players received some SEC honors. Asia Wilson was named SEC Player of the Year for the 2nd year in a row. Wilson also added on an All-SEC First Team honor and All-SEC Defensive honor. Elena Coates joined her teammate on the All-SEC First Team and All-SEC Defensive team, while freshman Ty Harris received a spot on the All-SEC Freshman team. From the hardwood to the diamond. Men's baseball got underway today at 4 o'clock against Appalachian State. Graham Lawson is currently on the mound for his first start of the season. We'll check back into action at Founders Park a little later. The softball team is also in action, squaring off against in-state rival Winthrop in a doubleheader. The first pitch was at 3 o'clock, and the second game is set to start at 5:30. The 12-2 Gamecocks have a perfect home record of 9-0 and look to keep that streak alive and well. And the USC swim team will head to Indianapolis for Division I Swimming and Diving Championships from March 22nd to the 25th. The team fared well in the Conference Swimming and Diving Championships in Knoxville 2 weeks ago, and head coach Kevin Swander was pleased with his team.
Oh, I thought we swam really, really well. We ended up breaking at the meet 21 school records between both programs, men and women. We went to a last chance meet and had a young man break another school record. So it's 22 on the year. I think that's a very successful year.
We'll see if that success continues when the swim team goes to the national meet in 3 weeks. Check this out. This student from the University of Louisville sinks a half-court shot. It's for $38,000, but the company offering the money disqualifies him because he played basketball in high school. It's all good, though. The university offered to buy his books and a meal plan for the next year. So like I was saying, guys, the last men's home basketball game tonight, the women are already headed to the conference championship. So get out, give some support to our seniors who have really given it all they have for Gamecock basketball.
Big things in Columbia, and also Mardi Gras is coming to an end today, but it's going out with a bang. Fat Tuesday is here, and people all across the country are celebrating. See some of the festivities coming up on Carolina News.
Get your beads out and get ready to eat some king cake. It's Fat Tuesday, and cities across the country will be celebrating Mardi Gras today. 2 weeks of parade and music, and tons of people have gathered for this final day of the celebration. If you're in New Orleans, you know this all too well. It's the city known for its elaborate carnivals, celebrations, and parties. From the many parades and floats to all the colorful masks and beads, the last day of Mardi Gras is full of crazy costumes. And don't forget the food, which will surely hold over all those fasting for the start of Ash Wednesday. And guys, today is Mardi Gras, so you know what that means. Beat up, everyone.
Most exciting time of the year.
Yeah, but that's all the time we have for today. Thanks so much for being with us.
See you again tomorrow. Have a great evening.